Attention gamers, as you know, Riot recently announced that Freak is having a midlife crisis alongside all of the changes planned for the next year of League of Legends, and let you tell me, on paper they make it sound like I won't want to Caitlyn ult myself every time I play this game anymore, but rather than theorycraft in practice tool or stack custom lobbies full of simps to feed into me, I suffered through real games on the PvE to test out things like Caitlyn's new item that makes her an American sniper, the new mage additions that make Fiddle suck off people better than a young Riley Reid, a way that Twisted Fate can abuse the bot lane quest gold to earn over double the gold of any of his enemies, a preview into 7-item ADC gameplay, all the bugs that got Karthus removed from the game, and my personal favorite, the changes that will make AP Ezreal a thing again. So sit back with your wiggy out, slap my subscribe button, and let's get into it. Alright, the first item I tried is this Hexoptics C44, aka the Piltover Taser, with 2 stats 2 passives, the second one hinting that it's literally designed for Caitlyn, that nepotism higher mall cop, and while 10% damage would do a lot more late game, I decided to build this first item like a dipshit, and rather than making you sit through an entire game of boring farming like other YouTubers do, here is the one time where its effect actually was shown. Me and my Heimerdinger support had the big brain idea, no pun intended, to cheese in the bush. Their support walked into melee range, which basically made this item useless, but once Morg described both her name and location, you can see I had permanent rapid fire cannon red circles, which meant that meth snorting anorexic had no chance of getting away. That was literally the only highlight from that game. I tested if it impacted ult damage, but it didn't, and then the enemy team gave up like greasy weasel pussies before I could clickbait a full game. Experiment numero 2 is around this mage item called the Actualizer. The stats on this are your standard copy pasta from half the mage legendaries, but the active pumps a bit of blood to my otherwise limp wiener. For 8 seconds all your shit costs more mana, but it does more damage, healing and shielding, which makes me channel my inner Einstein and theorycraft that popping this before a Fiddle ult in to suck off the opposition combo would be the best use of it, and here's what that looked like. The healing when it is active is low-key arousing. Side note, we lost that game because literally half my team left to go play Arc Raiders. That said, my commitment to getting authentic content is like Logan Paul's commitment to being a piece of shit, so I kept queuing to get more clips, and more clips I got. Side note, every single game resulted in someone in my team leaving, but hey, at least I got feedback reports that the swamp is being drained on the test server that is only supposed to allow the best behaved players onto it. Next, I wanted to try gold maxing on Twisted Fate. In case you are unaware of the strategy, there's a YouTuber who wears a ski mask and wants to fight me IRL for internet cloud that breaks down the whole strategy in a way that is way more entertaining than 95% of the videos out there for this shitty fucking game. But TLDR, it boils down to the fact that Twisted Fate's passive, the one that gives bonus gold after every minion kill, can crit, which prints you gold if you stack crit, so you combine that with all the runes and items that give gold, and voila, you are the clavicle of cash. By the way, this dude is a retard. Anyways, in Season 16 as a bot laner you get extra gold from all sources, so I figured I would combine the Herald strategy with Season 16 and see how it went, and this Senna was going to be a paid actress apparently that would donate hefty sums of cash to me. You were supposed to suck more ass than an anal vacuum early, and if I'm being honest I did, but this little Mexican boy made a better door than a window, which in this case was highly appreciated because it meant I could live to do more card tricks. I would say, hey Jin, was yellow your card? And since it was, it would leave him stunned, and that's why they say my magic knocks people dead. I typically avoid fighting because my source of income with this build comes from the mass murder of these midget hoodlums, but this Senna spent entirely too much time in Thresh's Lantern because she was delulu as fuck, and I wasn't going to turn down an easy side hustle. They were basically always in lane even when they weren't supposed to be, like botted views in Neon Stream, and even through Collector and TF's kit go together like peanut butter and a peanut allergy. I still pushed on knowing two things. 1. This Senna would exhibit signs of severe dehydration in her decision-making abilities, and 2. This small Mexican chick would put her life on the line again if it meant saving me from Jin's triangular death simulator. Me and Jin were both lower than the average IQ of guests on the whatever podcasts, and while not all magic tricks need to be flashy, this one surely was. My build was more shit and troll than something Trundle leaves in the toilet, but I've gotta say Bon Bon Boy was dipping the absolute piss out of their support, and I wasn't complaining. Once you build all stacking cloaks you can finish them into actual items, so I went rapid cannon fire second, and then outside of showing this for a few gold cards I would just right click and profit. Senna was continuing to make donations to the Make a FedRAV Foundation, and once I left bot to introduce myself to that NASA branded weaponized Stephen Hawking I was really starting to stack gold. Crit carry TF is normally reportable, but with all the bonus gold from the tech the new season and a dipshit Senna, and I could afford to desk pop a gold card into a minion and still come out on top. Soon enough I had 3 levels on their carry, so I was limit testing fights when I should have been going back to spend the mountains of cash I had bulging out of my pockets. I'm a trash ass TF player, but some of the fights had no business feeling this smooth on him. My build paths were accelerating as I was snowballing, and basically no one could survive an auto-attacking TF, so I was pumped to see what the 7-item late game would look like, but no one on the enemy team cared to find out. The gold graph at the end does show some insane stats. As you can see, I earned almost double the gold of anyone on the enemy team. Quick update on my latest WoW adventure: I'm not actually a confused lamb, I'm a warlock who got ganked by this Chris Brown, who thought sneaking up on me like a dickhead was going to end any other way than him getting feared into a group of bad actors and then me literally one-shotting him like the simp bitch he is. If you want more WoW content, then use my link below for the biggest discount on rested XP leveling guides you can find on the internet, updated for the Burning Crusade. Anyways, is anyone wondering how ADCs feel in the new season now that they can get up to 7 items? But I will say, when you do get rolling it does feel nice. Side note: bot laners get a free slot for boots, and for a while if you refunded that you would keep the gold and the boots, which meant I would exploit the shit out of this on Karthus to get full build before the 20-minute mark, and the results were fun while they lasted. Top laners get more XP and can get to level 20 now, which doesn't give you new ability ranks, but I will say being 7 levels higher than some of the other players in the game did have its perks. The last thing I tested was the return on my mapless king, AP Ezreal. Riot is bringing back Gunblade, which means just with that one item the burst starts to look like this. Late game it results in some pentakill like moments where the bursty boys are coming out of the oven hot, and all I needed to do was land a Q on that paper mache bird, but instead that fart-ridden rat stole my penta, which is a good reminder that Riot can change a lot of things about the game, but we will forever be stuck with the low IQ toxic community of failed abortions that plays it. See you then. Rav out.